Hello, good evening, morning, or afternoon, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another round of the Overwatch Watchers Brawl. I am 3.007. I'm joined by Valkyrie tonight, and we are here to bring you a loser's bracket game between Winter Solstice and Aegis, and one of these teams we will be saying goodbye to today. Valkyrie, looking at Winter Solstice and Aegis, these are two teams that are going to be pretty evenly matched, and we are going to be going into King's Row at the start. What can we expect?
A lot of times with King's Row, it's a lot of Zarya, Rhine map combos or tank combos, as well as you might see a Widowmaker too. Um,
I do love seeing the double snipers come out.
well, they're always fun to watch and always will be in.
Yeah, the Rhine Zarya, again, love seeing it. It looks like Aegis might not have all of their members up to snuff. It looks like we still have an empty slot on the board. We are also showing, however, a perfect player icon synergy. I do love to see that. I think it was in the, I think an Overwatch League statistic came out where 100% of teams with icon synergy won.
I mean, it can help. It really brings the team together as long as you have that same mindset. I know when we played
Definitely.
our first game, we were joking around with the icons as well, and we ended up having three of our teammates with happy squids.
Happy Squid is a good one. And again, you always have to make sure you pick an icon that everyone has. No going for those special seasonal ones. That being said, Atlantic Division, me being an East Coaster and a Philly Fusion fan, I like seeing that despite their performance in the All Star game. Looking at you guys in the league. So for Winter Solstice, they went up against Big Oof Energy, and they had a bit of a problem against them, and they got taken 2-0. Aegis also went up against Aimless Esports, and they also got 2-0'd right out of the tournament and into the losers bracket. I don't want to say it was necessarily because they were so completely outmatched, but they did go up against some very difficult combinations. Do we want to see anything new from these teams, especially given that the Rhine Zarya play is going to be a huge part in this King's Row?
Yeah, a good counter for Rhine-Zarya is actually diving their backline is basically takes away any support that the Rhine may have to stay alive. You cut off that support, the Rhine can't stay in the front line. He has to back up.
That's a huge point. And yeah, King's Row is not necessarily the most dive friendly map, but a dive can definitely be used. And some teams we see going in on the defense with that Orisa Diva composition, with Orisa setting up on that high ground and Diva being the one responsible for contesting the point on the low ground thanks to her boosters, which enables her to get in and out of danger if they are used correctly. However, this composition does require a tad of how do we say it? Coordination. I'm not
Mhm.
saying either of these teams aren't capable of pulling that off, but it is definitely something that has to be taken into consideration.
Yes, also you also have to make sure that that diva does not panic with her boosters so she cannot escape, or the other team doesn't focus fire and basically destroy her mech before she can get out of there and heal up.
Right, and that cooldown is relatively short in the world of Overwatch cooldowns, but those 5 to 6 seconds can seem like a lifetime, especially when Diva's life is literally flashing before her eyes. So it looks like we are just about ready to get started with Aegis' sixth starting member ready to rock and roll, and we are going to jump into King's Row. And as a reminder, we are going to be seeing Winter Solstice opening on the where did my notes go? Winter Solstice opening on the defense with Aegis coming in on attack at the start.
Yes, I'm super excited to see this. One of the things that I noticed when I was reading my notes as well is I think it was Winter Solstice. They like to do um, very anti goats comps as well as how do you say untraditional comps as well.
I think that's the right way to put it, the nice way to put it, the tactful way to put it. It didn't. It didn't necessarily work out in their matchups previously, but again, the losers bracket is definitely not a death sentence, and Winter Solstice could very much pull this out. However, the same can be said for Aegis, which is another team that has been around for quite a long time, since summer of 2018. And while they did not run anything super crazy, they do have a very solid setup going for them.
Mm.
So let's see
We
what we
are
have
s-
coming up.
we are seeing some goats here from Aegis here.
Aegis has sent up with a Ana goat. Oh, rather, wait. Aegis in the red, we are seeing the Hanzo goats, which is basically you sacrifice a support in place of the Hanzo, but keep the Ana Lucio. Meanwhile, on Winter Solstice, despite their goats aversion, it looks like they are just flat out running and Ana goats.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
And this fight is going to get started with Aegis going to be running right up to the choke and stopping. They're going to see what they can force out, maybe possibly take a poke, see what's going on. And the shields are up, the fight is on, the poke has begun. And they're going to take Hotel really early. They're going to choose to fight in this tiny room where Hanzo's and big anti-nade comes out, getting most of the members. That's going to be Vaporeon Brigitte going down first.
And their heals have been right on point here, keeping their Rhine up, but with that last charge there, they had no hope of saving that.
Crazy Cat swinging for the hills was clearly the MVP of this particular push. He had his ultimate within 35 seconds of the game starting. That definitely tells you that that was an Ana-enabled push.
And the big stagger.
So it's
here,
interesting.
That is a big stagger. They're gonna have to wait here now for their diva to come back.
Yeah, that's really rough. When again, now we're going all the way into the third minute, the second minute. Diva is now back, but an ult was already spent, and Elevator Man's now coming up on a charge. They're once again going to go straight to the hotel. Winter Solstice is going to pivot to defend. Let's see if this fight goes any differently than last time.
That's a dangerous corner. If you get stuck in there, there's no way you can get out of there. You get pushed back in that corner, and it's so easy to cut off any form of escape.
And a sneaky Ana nade goes in at that right time when they get caught in that corner. That's going to enable Winter Solstice to pull off the picks that they need. And this push by Aegis is once again defeated rather handily by Winter Solstice, running goats, which they theoretically claim to hate. Maybe they're bored of it. Maybe they've perfected goats. Maybe
That's just how did you say, a false claim. They perfected put against it, but they never mentioned that they perfected it as well.
Yeah, it's a little disingenuous. I feel like the caster curse has been reflected back upon us as they are showing a really solid dominance on goats, having 4 ults coming into Aegis, which also has 4 ults from their own. Roughly mirrors, and the Gravitor comes out, counters Shatter comes out from the Grav. That's going to be no kills from either side as the Nano Boost comes out.
Oh nope, we lost Crazy Cat there at the beginning, and they might actually have a chance at this.
Ooh, Vex holding down that left click for all their life is worth, but the kills for Winter Solstice keep stacking up. A Diva Bomb comes out that is going to catch Shampoo Zarya out of commission with no shields ready. Vex's rally is out right now, but it doesn't look like anyone's going to be left alive long enough to take advantage.
You lose a Ryan in any of these pushes, it really slows it down, makes you have to reconsider any angle. You just lose half your protection there, and they already have Winter Solstice already has their Ryan back, and another. That is a nice charge there.
And again, the Ana anti-nade is going to make sure that nothing happens in a good situation.
Oh, look at that combo.
Comes up big!
That was a beautiful play between Pilot and Crazy Cat there.
Aegis' Shatter was...
Or Elevator. Sorry.
Yeah, Elevator Man nailing that Shatter with the bomb coming out. That's going to make it so that Winter Solstice gets removed from the point. They're great defense. They might be coming in for a final push though, and I think they are. With throwing the rally, they're going to get up to the point. Barrier's coming out.
Ooh, they are giving no quarter here. And I think they might have this here. As long as they can get that Ryan down with the Nano there to save him. Let's see if he can pull this off.
And there's the D-Mech. That's a huge resource gone. Elevator Man does rip apart Vapori. That's a very long Shatter, and a massive Shatter comes out.
Yep, there's 4 people in that Shatter there.
Oh.
And I think they've successfully defended this. Yep, there's the Zarya there.
Oh, the charged cry comes out. That's 8 seconds remaining for Aegis to get back.
And a Pharah switch.
Contest is going to come in, but it is going to be a bit of a stagger. Smoothie goes down first on the Ana. Massive Shatter comes in!
And a quick strikeout by Crazy Cat there.
Despite an incredible Shatter coming in, that's going to be Crazy Cat's victory right there, taking the enemy Zarya so far away from the point there's no chance to contest.
No, they had some quick, Winter Solstice there really had that really great defense there right at the end. Pushed in with the Lucio ult and shatter.
You can almost think, listening to their comms, I wonder if there was a debate of, do we try to hold this point or do we just reset, go for point B and stop them here? They clearly made the right decision, I think. That was a
Yeah,
great option to
that
go
was
back
a
in.
great decision. They basically stopped point from being capped, and it was actually the winning play.
Yeah, so now we're going to see Aegis having to defend. They're going to basically have to defend the point for a full hold. They don't have the supreme disadvantage that tends to happen on King's Row. They're not going to have to defend it to a third. They do have about 97, 98% of the point that they have to work with. They can give up a couple ticks without losing the map entirely.
Yeah, it's gonna be anyone's match here. It's still they at least capped 95% of it.
Yeah, and there it is. We have a 95.8%. Again, Aegis has 2 ticks to work with and a bit. That is
Ooh,
completely
I do
doable.
like the Symmetra play here.
Teleporting Symmetra past the King's Row choke point. I super like this a lot.
Yep, they are going against goats here, so they do have a little bit of range there to help out with that with the McCree, but
Are we going to see it, though? The caster's curse is real. I think we might be bamboozled. The more Symmetra stays in the non-spawn zone, the more likely we are to see Symmetra come out. And given how heavy they're playing on the door, this is going to be it. We are seeing a Symmetra McCree enabled Reinhardt Zarya.
yeah, let's see here. We just getting some ult charge here from the Ryans.
Reinhardt charging. Where is Crazy Cat going?
I don't know. I think he was distracting them, or he missed the teleporter.
It's yeah.
I think he was charging for the teleporter and he missed it.
Wow, yeah. Oh, that's such a shame because this push is absolutely over, despite some great ult charge generated
And that was a
from that
good
charge.
bubble there by Zarya Shampoo.
And just again, Crazy Cat getting that charge off at the end wasn't entirely for naught, as they now have quite the percentage towards their shatter compared to Elevator Man.
That
But
is
wow,
very
what a
true.
shame.
Yeah, I do think that though Symmetra, like the Symmetra portal there, I'm pretty sure he was trying to charge through it
Yeah, I think you're
and get
correct.
that sneaky charge on their Ryan. Cause
And now they have switched up on the Symmetra. They're going to bring out the Diva to get a little more defensive capability.
yeah, and they have McCree sitting up top there. They gotta contest him, or he's gonna get free picks there.
And the only one who can contest Diva, but the big shatter comes in on the Reinhardt. Zenyatta's
Big
going to do
shatter.
a lot of defense, but Elevator Man falls before Zenyatta can bring it
Yeah,
back
he
up.
got Crazy Cat charged him out of the Zenyatta ult, which super helps out their team.
Ooh,
But there goes
massive.
Zarya, and they just have the Diva and the Zen. And Diva ult comes out here and gets no one.
Yeah, so Zenyatta left on the point with a grab coming in on the returning Reinhardt. That's going to be not a lot going for Aegis, and Winter Solstice is going to take this point without Aegis able to contest, except no, they bring out the
Except for-
hamster
no.
ball!
They bring out Hammy,
Oh, what a fantastic play!
and here comes in the rest of the team.
So now Aegis has to start racking up the kills to make this a more even fight despite their massive spawn disadvantage. Losing Vex early with a big shatter coming out, it's gonna get the hamster ball. He has his shields up, but now another counter shatter comes out from Elevator Man.
That was a clutch shatter, saving the Hammy from a. Ooh, that was a nice 180 shield there on Elevator Man to save him from the Diva bomb.
Yeah, but Savitar going for that Poco, gonna pick up the Hammond and the Tracer, 2 of your major stall
They
comps.
have this though.
And Winter Solstice takes the first round.
They had a great stall there, Aegis there, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I can't say they let this point go without a fight because they were absolutely struggling for every point. Massive shatters coming in from both sides. Ultimately, it's going to be Winter Solstice that comes away, making sure that when you have follow through for your shatter, that's going to be the one that wins it.
Yeah, the exchanging of shatters, it was just hard to keep up with them. One went down and then they charged in, then another went down, and then the other Rhine was down, and
Yeah,
suddenly one team was down a Rhine and then just fell apart. You lose that Rhine in that goats combination and it just falls apart.
Absolutely. And you see the one thing that I also love is neither Reinhardt at any point in time sent a shatter directly into another Rhine shield. Both of them kept their shatters until the exact moment when they thought, all right, I can totally do this. My team's with me. Let's rock and roll. No shatter was wasted. All of them resulted in stuns. I think Winter Solstice had the edge there in the Reinhardt duel, making sure that they had the shatter when they needed it most to follow through when it mattered.
Yeah, I do have to say though, the play between Pilot Elevator Man with the Diva Rhine combo
Oh
was
yeah.
beautiful.
I am a tad disappointed that that wasn't play of the game, given the sheer combo and
Oof.
coordination that had to go into it. But we are also now going to have to go on to our next map. As we say in the competitive business, next fight. The map has been lost. It's time to move on. And Aegis is going with Ilios.
Yeah, one of the hardest things about losing a map like that when you're just so close is you need to make sure you're not psyching yourself out for this next match.
Yep. And Ilios is a risky place to be since there is a high tendency for, I guess, some salt. We have Lighthouse and Well in this in this
Yes,
particular map.
well can be absolutely just disgusting if you have a great Lucy on a team that's just gonna keep booping you out of your wrist shield. It's almost better to have a Ryan at times.
Yep. Despite the
Just
tendency possibly to go with the Orisa Hog, yeah.
yeah, I I think I think I heard someone call the Arista Hog pulled pork before.
That was me.
That yeah, I heard yeah.
Oh my god, it's finally spreading. Yes, pulled pork is the composition that we love to see. And oh no, we're starting.
Yeah, we started saying that now that we we heard that we're like it's officially
Yes.
pulled pork to us now.
It's beautiful. Pulled pork was a composition that we on my one of the teams that I played on in another tournament. We did a great full hold on Dorado using pulled pork. It was really good times. Talk about memories. But we are of course going to Well for our first map. I hope
Oh,
Aegis is a fan of this boop particular composition. Ilios also tends to be one of those maps where depending on the map within this King of the Hill, you can pick a really different comp.
yeah, you can. I do like being Widow on this map and sitting up on the windmill there. That top arch and just hiding behind it. You get basically you peek out, you get a perfect view of them walking up behind that little lattice there before they get to the point, and you can
Oh
get
yeah.
some really great picks there.
There are some very sneaky sight lines. Of course, Ruins being a very popular sniper map. But we're on Well, and we're looking at
Ooh.
Aegis. They have definitely chosen this map for a reason. The only member missing from their boot comp is Lucio, but they have the Pharmacy, they have the Pulled Pork, the Orisa Hog, and it
Oh,
looks like Winter Solstice is possibly going to match them with a Ryan Zarya Reaper.
ooh, that is kind of tricky. Go doing well with no Orisa.
Yeah, Orisa's a great anchor for this map. She drops her shield, she gets it so often, and Reinhardt has a pretty nasty, and we have a pause, which means there has been some slight technical difficulties, which is the case when you do a live production sometimes. So we are going to take a tad bit of a break as it looks like we have a player disconnecting from Aegis.
Ooh, that's tough. Hopefully they're good back here soon. I'm excited
Yeah.
to see the non-Lucio comp that Aegis is going for.
Yeah, so
It's
no Lucio, but they have so many other boops, and
they
it's a
do, they
shame
do.
they're
The
not.
Zarya though is interesting. It looks like they're
Yeah.
almost doing a goats with a fair in there.
Mm-hmm. And the Moira is a classic pick, especially when you want the nice wide area healing. I think they anticipate they're going to get rushed. So they're going to probably anchor up on a, excuse me, they're going to anchor up on a corner of the point and
Yes.
just deal with it. But it looks like Smoothie has resolved their internet issues. They are back in the game, and we are hopefully going to get started within a momentito. But that is huge because since they have left the game, they are going to be booted back to spawn.
Oof.
Yeah, and with no Lucio, there is no taxi potential for them unless, of
No,
course.
they might have to switch there to get themselves back to point before the control point unlocks.
Mhm.
The one thing I do like is the Moira and Farah there. It just basically takes away the potential of Lucio for those two. You boop a Moira and she has her fade, it's gonna take away anything you just did.
Yeah, they're a very good hero for the survivability, and making sure that those heals stay on the point is probably going to be big.
Yep. The one awkward thing though is they are running a McCree on Winter Solstice here, so
All
you
right.
and Anna. Anna can easily snipe out as well, Fair as well. So they got two counters to Fair right there.
Yep. And if I remember correctly, Smoothie was operating on the Mercy, which means they were going to go for a Pharmacy, which means one of Anna's chief duties, aside from healing her team, along with McCree, is going to be giving that Pharah a little bit of pressure. If Vapori's not up to the task, that pharmacy could be running havoc on the back line.
Yeah, I mean, a few shots from Ana and if Farah's going down, she's not gonna continue peeking if there's an Ana gonna hit her.
Mm-hmm. That being said, though, that very angry pulled port composition is going to be sending volley after volley downrange, and if Ana is not healing her team, that's going to be rough times.
Yeah, one thing that dangerous is with the Zarya ult is that she can pull people in there. If Ryan has a shield anywhere near that, well, the hole, Zarya can put her ult there and basically sticks them up there, and you can get a fair boop them all into the hole once his ult goes off.
Yeah, the power of the composition of Boop on well definitely can't be underestimated. And it looks like we are about to get ready and going. So the pause should be ongoing at any moment. You can stop listening just to us and get some sick Overwatch action as a result. And here we go. And Smoothie is again stuck back in spawn. That means that Pharah is going to get forced down pretty quickly.
Yeah, that is a major oof with getting near Farah down that low of health. But I think she did go back to taxi up the Mercy there, but they are really pushed up here.
Yeah, Winter Solstice found where Aegis was setting up their little anchor, and they immediately sent that Reaper into the mix, and Asian Burrito just ripped apart the Orisa, the Hog, the Moira.
Yeah, that is the one thing if you're running three tanks into a Reaper, and I'm kind of scared of what Reaper's going to be after this next buff that they're doing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, 50% healing and just literally the tank buster that he was and now will continue to be. And I think the message has been sent. Aegis has now switched over to a D.Va, possibly to literally try and directly counter Reaper's nasty shotguns.
And they also have a Hanzo here as well. They're off Farah.
Yep, there it is. Asian Burrito goes down first.
Ooh, and a flat shatter. And I think it's just, they're gonna probably, yep, they're just playing with the D.Va before they kill her.
Another nasty stagger culminating in an official team kill. That was some incredible ult generation from Crazy Cat.
The Ana pick there is not helpful at all. Looks like the Lucio is heading back to go get her. Which means they're down heals. They have to push back as well.
Aegis has a huge opportunity here. They can't know that the Lucio is gone, but this is a definite opportunity for them to charge in.
And with the sonar arrow there is giving them peeks on where the Rhine is sitting.
Ooh, and the shield shatter at one point. I think Elevator Man lost it. Crazy Cat shield not too far behind.
Ooh,
Bam!
and
They get the
sleep. And the boop, and the Zarya's off, and McCree cleans up the backline.
Wow, pick after pick coming in for Winter Solstice. Pilot on the D.Va again is going to get a bit of a stagger here.
Paper there is just is it Vapori?
Vapori, yeah.
Yeah, Vapori is just doing work on their backline. Snuck around, flashed the trying to think here, their Zen, and then cleaned up the Moira as well as stopped them from being able to retreat back into safety.
Yeah, Winter Solstice looking
shatter,
at
but no one there.
They get the shampoo, so that is going to be one kill. If an ult gets one kill these days, it's almost a good thing. And wow, Winter Solstice is just, again, racking up the kills, despite committing every ult they have to it, or rather, because they committed every ult they have. That's going to be overtime for them. No contest from Aegis. The first round goes to them.
Oof. That was...
Ugh.
Not Zarya there, it was... The bubbles were just nice at the same time that Vapori just kept cleaning up their backline. The damage that a McCree can put out now that they changed his Phantom Hammer, they increased the damage of it, just completely changes him as well.
Yeah, Winter Solstice now again showing their ability to run comps that literally are anything other than goats. I don't think I've ever seen a McCree Reaper with a Ada Lucio. That's just crazy, and I love it. Vapori is gonna stick. Vapori, however, is gonna switch over to the Reaper, with Asian Burrito switching over to the Mei. Meanwhile, Aegis going with a Reaper Goats? Reaper Goats.
Yeah, it looks like a Reaper goes here.
Oh, no, Lucio. Oh, that's a slow move.
They do seem like they are lacking heals here with just the Moira and the Zen, but we'll have to see here with the Zen ults. See if they can time just right to save them in the big pushes.
So 2 Reapers running into a composition each other, but Crazy Cat is
That
actually
May wall just
yeah,
took away any chance of them from being able to have any room and basically just hiding behind the Rhine shield.
The Reaper going into another Reaper is great. I love it. But one of those teams has a D.Va, and that is going to be rough times. However, Vapori is showing that it doesn't really matter as long as D.Va is occupied elsewhere.
Yep.
So now, Aegis is going to have to make a solid claim to this point. Their life in the tournament is at stake, and Winter Solstice is going to knock them out of it permanently if they don't make a big showing. And here it is, we're showing them moving over to the pharmacy with Moira on the ground for healing.
The boops are pretty, if anyone leaves that little area there, they can get booped off the map pretty easily here by the Pharah.
I know. Maywall comes out a little prematurely. No separation of the team is going to happen. They're going to maintain their coherency, but Vapori looking for that cheeky flank. He's got almost a massive shatter comes out from Crazy Cat!
They just had no hope there with... The moment he dropped that shield, Crazy Cat was ready for it.
Yeah, that's rough times. That's the situation where you have to know that enemy Reinhardt. Crazy Cat has been building his ults way too quickly. It should almost be assumed after the first fight that they have Shatter. So make sure that you have your shield up and ready to go.
Yeah, especially when you're after the first match and how quickly he kept building up his ults, then I almost would be safe to assume he always has it.
Yeah, it's just... it's a solid assumption to make. It's just really rough times when you're playing against someone who is that good of a Reinhardt. You gotta know this team's enabling his swings. It's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, it's not, especially with the Mei there and the wall getting behind him, basically makes it so he can walk out there with very little repercussions.
Yeah, and Bastard shatters into the backline.
That
Unbelievable!
And that is a beautiful ult by Vex there. Basically cleans up the point, and it's just Vapori left, and he takes the dive.
What a brilliant ult fight. That's the kind of thing you want to see when you have that overtime percentage. Don't blow every ult to take the point. Spend a single ult to take the point.
Yes,
now you're in position to hold it.
Yeah, that was a very good ult control there. It's always very dangerous when you ult, especially dropping down the top of the point there. It can be very dangerous at the point where it really is. You're just putting yourself so close to the enemy team that if they can just look up and hit you. But if you get them a surprise enough and you just are able to push them down there, Pharah ults in this point can just clean up the whole point for everything.
Yeah, and now it's fights, ults shelling out left and right, mostly generating 1 or 2 kills here and there. Big grab coming out from Winter Solstice. That's going to get the Zarya and the D.Va, who will get D-Max despite the Coalescence coming in. Maywall shuts that down completely. And Winter Solstice is now in position to retake the point, and they're racking up the kills to prove it. Big Shatter comes in, gets no one.
And Bear there is just sitting there at 1 health with the Lucy being booped off.
And there's the foot. Winter Solstice takes it, and it's overtime, and that's it!
That is game.
Despite a tenacious defense from Aegis, we're going to see Winter Solstice eliminating Aegis from the loser's bracket and moving on towards their recovery, their reverse sweep journey.
That was crazy. Crazy Cat there with those great shatters and the great wall placement by Asian Burrito with the Mei wall, or with the with Mei walls, yeah.
Yeah, now I love seeing that control from Crazy Cat. You know he was itching to use that shatter in that play of the game. He waited for the Zarya bubble to be spent, he waited for the enemy Rhine to lower that shield, and he knew his time had come.
It's so nice. It's so hard being able to keep track of his Zarya bubbles, because it is only, what, a 8-second cooldown, which doesn't seem like a lot when it lasts 3-4 seconds on a person, so basically burning down that shield and hoping that she doesn't get it back before you end up having that opportunity to use the shatter.
Yeah, having that, again, preemptive ult economy is really solid for Winter Solstice. We saw them pretty much handedly wipe away Aegis from the map. Well played to both teams. This has been, 3.007 and Valkyrie.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another round of the Overwatch Watchers Brawl.